Okay.
Any comments about Jimmy's production or body language in tonight's game?
No. That was not, had nothing to do with anything. We got outplayed from the tip, all the way until, probably 7 minutes, that last group that was in there. Indiana outplayed us. I mean, we were on our heels the entire night.
Defensively, what did you see early on that let them get comfortable and get into that type of rhythm?
We just weren't mentally prepared, for the pace. And it's not just the full court pace, it's the half court pace. It's, the pitch aheads, one possession, attacking. It's a quick trigger the next possession. Then the next possession, it's 5, 6, 7 situations you have to defend with focus, discipline. And, we just, tended to break down, at some point. You have to give them credit. They played with great energy and purpose. And we were never really able to get control of, what they were trying to do. Their pressure also got us out of, getting the ball where we needed to get to, but I think we were scattered, from just being down 10 and playing, catch up, virtually the whole night.
I understand when he got the bulk of his points, the game was largely out of hand, but from what you saw from Khalil, from the scoring, but also from the lack of rebounding, sort of your thoughts on where you can take it to the next step and just what he did in his minutes.
Yeah, I can compartmentalize. I'm frustrated, about, this game and a big game against a team that we're jostling against right now. But those last, 7, 8, 9 minutes of the game, were the most inspiring part of the game, probably the only inspiring game for us. And it was, the efforts, at the rim. He's changing shots. That's something we're definitely going to have to talk about. If he goes, we had to get the next guy blocking out. But his activity defensively was great. Pick and roll coverages were solid. And then on the other end, he just played with great energy. It started out getting, some easy stuff at the rim. Then the threes went from there. Then the lobs, all of it. And it was encouraging. We have a very talented, dedicated, exciting group of young players. And on any given night, it could be any one of them, a handful of them. Tonight, it was Khalil. KJ, gave us, a great spark that was interesting, what he was doing. So we'll take note of that and take this L on the nose and get ready for a big game on Saturday.
Just to return for a second to Jimmy, it seemed like he was parked in the corner often and maybe not as engaged as we're used to seeing him with sort of the thrust that he plays. Is that because of Tyler and the way things have changed since he's been out, or would you like to see Jimmy more active? It just seemed odd seeing him in the corner that often.
In the first half, like I said, we were down 10. We were playing catch-up. Their pressure was getting us out of where we needed to get the ball going to. In the second half, we had him playing point, just to make sure the ball was in his hands. And then, the game still got away from us. So, that was a frustrating part. Obviously, we need him to be aggressive. We need to get him in spots where he can be aggressive. We know how to do that. This game just got away from us.
I was going to ask you about playing the point. Is that something that you might see more of?
Hey, whatever we got to do, if we got to get him activated, put the ball in his hands, play point. He's done it before. We know how to get him going. He knows how to get going. These are not two strangers. It's aberrational. Activate on Saturday.
You mentioned the pressure kind of pushing you guys off the line. Eventually, you got going downhill and got what you wanted in the paint. But did that stretch earlier in the third, just going to Bam against Miles, was that just kind of giving your offense a little breathing room to eventually find where you wanted it?
We were getting muscled up, by their pressure, bullied out of our normal action. So that was the only place where we could just get the ball and just kind of settle in, But that, also wasn't great still because, I was hitting, some shots in the paint, and then they were coming down, getting a scramble and hitting threes. And so during that stretch, we're pretty efficient offensively, and we're down 10 more points in that stretch. Got to put it all together, and this is a unique team you're playing against, but on any given night, there's a group of us. You catch any one of us on any given night, we can look great. Other times it would look like you're fighting for consistency. They're one of those teams too. We're one of those teams, and there's a handful of other teams right there where we are. And just got to keep on hammering away at it. Thought we had a little bit of a mini breakthrough after the road trip, and we just got to continue to grind. This is part of our deal.
Was there any point in the fourth quarter that you at least considered getting Jimmy back in the game, even as you guys got closer?
We got it to under 10, As inspiring as that was, we never got it under 10, I was monitoring that. Like I said, that was the only inspiring stretch where we got the game to 10 in other spots, but it wasn't like inspiring. That was hopefully something we can build on with those young guys, which we are. These guys just continue to surprise us every day.
Is there any concern with Jimmy's health or any wellness after the time off and then 2 nights back to
No. Look, he went through it. That's 13 days is that's a long time to be away from it, and you work out and get back to it. But look, this is about being aggressive, and we got to figure it out. Then I'll figure it out, and then he's got to figure it out too. We got to figure it out. But I think that's an easy storyline. We're getting our ass kicked defensively, like. A lot of things just kind of go sideways if you are just like playing in quicksand, and we were never able to get into an offensive flow because, a lot of times we were dictated by our energy defensively, and when we're taking command of the game, imposing our will, we were never able to do that. The offense looked a lot better all of a sudden when we're getting some blocks, inspiring plays in that fourth quarter. With that group, then the basket gets a little bit bigger. Things get a little bit more coherent offensively. I think, that would have figured itself out. All right, thank you.